Hello, everyone, and welcome to the section today. Please, can you confirm that you can hear me and you can see me? All right, I'm seeing a thumbs up. You can give me a thumbs up if you can hear me or you can see me, or you can also type in the chat. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. And welcome to this section of Data for Her. I am excited to have you in here today. The aim of our section, basically, like we have shared, is to empower more women and young people to be data literate, also support their career transition, whether you're trying to transition to a new career or just you are trying to upskill in your current career. We also want to build confidence and mentorship, as this is always lacking when it comes to data careers and people transitioning into data or related tech roles. About me, I am the one presenting today. I am also a mentor here and one of the organizers of this section. My name is Julieth. I started off my career as an instructor in Microsoft Office suites, teaching Excel, Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. After that, I transitioned into operations manager role. Also, I am a community leader in Nigeria M365 community. I worked as a performance analyst. I have other engagements like being the creative director of the Extraordinary Woman blog, which is helping us host this section today. I'm also the founder of a technology company, and I am a data solutions partner. When we move forward, I'll be able to share better about my experience that would help you to relate, and also the reason why we thought is necessary to organize something like this. But these are some of my experiences or some of the things you will hear me talk about, whether regarding my use of Microsoft Excel or relating Microsoft Excel to other of my roles. First of all, one of the reasons why we are doing this is I would like to share the need for digital inclusion or data inclusion. Over the years, even starting my career, it wasn't an easy one. Like I said, I was a Microsoft instructor earlier when I started off my career. I did instruct, but at some point, I don't understand the value of what I have. That was the major shock. I did instruct, but I did not have mentors around me to let me know that these skills I've got, there is a way I can move forward to it from one point to another. So for digital inclusion, this is similar to what some women face, not having mentors around them. And for my case, I was a first generation student, so a first generation graduate. So kind of it was difficult for me balancing who to ask for information and even having people around me to ask for those information. So that is why we decided to host something like this to help more people who don't have access to that information or who don't have access to certain things that will help them, that will propel their career. So we are offering need for digital inclusion. We are seeing the need for digital inclusion for women and for young professionals transitioning. Also, we want to bridge the gender gap in data and technology. Like I shared earlier, support career transition, build confidence. Another thing that is popular among career switchers or even young people or women in particular is the confidence. They may have the skills, they may have all what it takes, but they don't have, they can't figure out the push to start applying or even to start applying the skills. So this, we are hopeful that through this, you'll be able to apply those skills, you'll be able to gain that confidence, apply for that job, or even in your current role, be confident enough to say that this is what I currently do, and I will be able to, and this will support me in further in my career. Also, empower more people economically. Of course, if you have your data skills, depending on where you are, you can also offer these skills to small businesses to help them with their current data entry task or data analysis task. So basically, these are others and others are why we are doing this. And I am hopeful that with the help of other instructors that we have shared earlier, and then you will get to meet as the section proceed, you'll be able to get the required knowledge you need in this, in your role, either transitioning in data or in your current role. So if you don't mind, you can open up your mic and tell me who you are, where you are coming, where you are joining us from. You can type in the chat as well, but if you are confident enough, you can open up your mic. Also know that this could be a practice section for you, because whether you're working in data or related profession, you will be called upon to present at one point or the other. So, but if you are not comfortable, it is absolutely fine. Everyone has a stage in life, and I'm giving everyone the opportunity. Take your time. If you're comfortable, open your mic. If you're not comfortable, type in the chat and let us know where you're coming from. If you have chosen your Excel project, because I sent all of the projects in the emails. If you have chosen your Excel project, you let me know what you've chosen. If you've not chosen, we will do that together at some point today. Also, what you're looking forward to achieving. I know some of you have shared it earlier in the registration link. So please tell me. Anyone willing to share? You can type in the comment section. Of course, your names are here. You can just type what you're looking forward to achieving. And if you've chosen your Excel project, it will help me to know if you can hear me and you're following me as well.
Hi, Julieth.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Yeah, my name is Mani Megalai. You can call me Mani. I'm joining from Singapore. I have not decided which Excel projects to do. I am transiting into data analyst. So I thought attending this course will be, I gain more knowledge and transit into data industry. Thank you.
All right, that's perfect. Thank you. Anyone else want to share?
Hi, Julieth.
Hello. Hello, good morning or good afternoon, good evening.
Morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
My name is Mutmaina Abdullawa, joining from Nigeria. And the Excel project, I've not decided also because there are a lot of it, so I don't know what to choose from. Then I'm looking forward to learning about data, how it can be used, the various things you use data to use for. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Does anybody else want to share? It's fine. We can give you time.
Good morning, Juliet.
Yeah, good morning.
Rebecca Dedeji. I'm from Nigeria. I'm joining from Nigeria. Excel project, I've also not decided yet, but I think I'll be going for the savings tracker. And of course, I'm looking then more about data analysis. I'm a beginner actually.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for. Okay, someone wants to speak again. Thank you. Who is it?
Good morning, Juliet. My name is Agbo Harriet. I'm joining from Nigeria, and I also haven't chosen my Excel project. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Excel and how it can help in various industries and data industries too.
All right. Thank you for that, Harriet. And thank you to everyone that have shared. Even if you have not shared, I'm hopeful that as the section proceeds, Tara, Taran, I think you wanted to speak.
Yes. Hi, I'm Taranidharan. So I'm joining from New Zealand. So I went through the projects which were shared about the Excel. So I thought the ones like about the student score calculator, I thought I can select it. I'm also then afterwards like the class register with percentage attendance. So I thought those can be, I can go ahead with that. So I'm joining in this session to know about how Excel and Power BI are applied in the data analysis side, as well as to get some hands-on project experience. So it will be helpful to know the Excel and Power BI as well as how we can apply in the industry. So that's what I'm looking forward to apply through this session. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone that have shared. Rebecca, you wanted to share?
No, I shared already.
Oh, okay. I saw your mic off. Oh, yeah. So thank you, everyone, for that engaging section. I'm happy that people that are willing to learn and are looking forward to learning much are here. My excitement to be fulfilled if by the end of this section you can gladly say that yes, I have what the aim of me joining the class was achieved. So let's crack on. Before we move on, are you still seeing my slides? Wanted to confirm quickly. Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, you can see my screen. All right. I wanted to
Yes,
confirm that.
Yeah.
Well, from what you guys said, I wanted to say something quickly before we move on. So many people shared about transitioning to data careers and wanting to explore data career. Well, while this section is about data, one of the things I want us to have in mind is that data analysis is not just for people in data. With the current flow of things and even the introduction of AI, data is, even before then, when I started my career in 2019, when I started my career in 2018, 2019, data have been in existence. And data analysis career was not even this popular. Excel has also been in existence. And data analysis is not just for data analysts. There are other professionals that use it. So this section is not just if you want to transition into a data career. If you also you are in an admin role, whatever role you are in, and at some point you use data, you will discover that you'll be using data. Project managers use data, product managers use data. So it depends on what role you are. So keep that open mind. By the end of the section, if you really want to transition into data, that's absolutely fine. Whatever role you are, it's just for you to know that with the way technology is moving, data is being used by almost all the professionals in the role. So this will be like an added advantage to you all. All right. So for this section, basically, it's about Microsoft Excel. And subsequently, you will hear from other mentors on Power BI. So for today, we are working on Microsoft Excel. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be on Microsoft Power BI. And next tomorrow, we'll be talking about Excel projects that we have worked on and other professions that you can use Microsoft Excel to help other people that don't really want to transition into data but want to know how they can apply it even in looking for other roles. So for my section today, you will learn more about Microsoft Excel, how introducing you to Excel for mobile and desktop, on how to create workbook, formula, creating an editing chart, pivot tables, and creating dashboard in Microsoft Excel. So I will cover some parts, and the lady that will be covering another section this evening will be covering pivot table and creating dashboards. But I will cover the first the first 5 parts of this agenda. Hope that's clear. You can type in the section, you can type in the chat, or just give me a thumbs up and I can move forward. All right. I want to quickly ask. Exactly. Someone was telling us HR marketing. It is used in almost all professions. So it's not just for data analysts. Thank you for that, Taran. So Microsoft Excel, to quickly introduce you, it is a spreadsheet application used to organize data. Particularly, you use it to organize data, use it to perform calculation, analyze information that have been given, and create a visual report for certain stakeholders. So this is just a simple what Microsoft Excel does. One of the things you want to know about Microsoft Excel is its ability to organize data. Another important thing is ability to perform certain calculations, which we will see later in this section. It will be able to analyze this some certain information and then create visual reports for those information. So this is what Microsoft Excel is all about. If we saw earlier, it stated it is a spreadsheet. And one of that thing that I may want you to think about is that, or to know about, is Microsoft Excel is not the only spreadsheet available in the market today. Spreadsheet that helps you to calculate or to organize or to visualize or track reports and all of that. Microsoft Excel is not the only tool. So I want to know how knowledgeable we are here, who can share other spreadsheet tools that you know about. Any tool that helps you to calculate, to organize data, to do visualization and all of that. Yeah, very good. Google Spreadsheet is one of them. Does anybody else have another idea? That's good. That's good. So Google Spreadsheets is one of them, and there are other spreadsheet applications in the market that help you to calculate, to do certain calculations and organize data. Well, for the aim of our section, what we are working on is Microsoft Excel. But the idea is that once you come into spreadsheet, you can easily use you got from this Microsoft Excel to easily work on some of those spreadsheet software. Even Zoho has a spreadsheet software as well. So that is it about Microsoft Excel. If you have received any of our emails, you will know you would have become familiar with certain spreadsheet project or project you can do with Microsoft Excel. So I want us to run quickly on this. If I call each of them, you tell me whether it is for organizing. When you view any of these things, what does it do? Which of the Microsoft Excel which of the things does Microsoft Excel do that all of these projects I'll be listing in the next slide help you? Is it visualize? Does it help you to report? Does it help you to organize? And then you will notice that some of them actually intertwine. You'll be able to visualize, report, automate, or even organize. So that's what this next section is. For instance, a Spotify top artist. If you're trying to view a Spotify top artist, what is it doing? It's apparently providing a report. If you're trying to view a budget amount versus actual spend, this is organizing your data, and this is also giving you a report of what is happening. Student timetable, project schedules and timeline, email automation. So these are some of the things you will encounter. Some of the projects, there are so many projects that can be done on Microsoft Excel. And these are sample of them. So when you view it, you'll be able to know, okay, what is this helping me to achieve? Student timetable, you are trying to organize something. Project schedule, organizing. Email automation, you are trying to automate, as simple as that. So these are some of the Excel, some projects you can actually do in Microsoft Excel. All right, even Canvas sheets. Thank you for that, Tara. Well, the next thing I want to achieve now, I want to know if all of us have Microsoft Excel in our computer or in our mobile phone. Do we have a Microsoft Excel? I want to make sure that we all have access to it. Okay. Everyone here, do you have access to Microsoft Excel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you using a phone or a PC to join? Okay. So I will give time for other people to download it as well. So that's the essence of this timing now. So we'll give you 5 minutes to 10 for people to download it on there. If you're using your laptop, you can access the web version, or if you're using your phone, you can download it. Please let me know if you have downloaded, if everyone in here have access to Microsoft Excel. I will give us till 9 till 28 past, whatever time you are in. All right, everyone, if you're just joining, we're trying to download Microsoft Excel, whatever you are using. Also, Microsoft Excel is free. You can use it for free in some PCs. So you can use the free version if you are using a PC, or you can also download this or use the web version, depending on where you are. So I wanted to make sure that all of us have the Microsoft Excel either on our phone or on our computer, because it will make it easy for us to practice some of the things we'll be going through. If you're just joining, my name is Juliet, and every one of us here have introduced themselves. Right now, we are trying to download Microsoft Excel or make sure that each and every one of us have access to it, because it will be helpful for us to do some of the practices that we'll be doing. All right. Someone is asking, let me attend to someone asking about the link quickly on the group.
Been muted.
I didn't know I have been muted. I didn't know I have been muted. Thank you for that. Someone just, we can't hear. Oh, thank you. Thank you for informing me, because some people were hearing me. So like I said, I don't know if you were hearing me when I was talking about this. I said, first of all, we'll look at the Microsoft Excel interface in practical. But before that, we are going to look at the slides that will be able to understand what each of them are. So when we see that, when we get through the explanation, we go into Microsoft Excel. Like I was explaining earlier, when you open Microsoft Excel, when you open a blank sheet in Microsoft Excel, this is apparently what you will see. And the first thing you would get to see is the quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar contains all of the all of the features that you use frequently. So when we go into Excel, you'll be able to see that. You can also, if you have a particular feature in Excel or a particular tab in Excel that you use more frequently, you can easily add it to the quick access toolbar. So another thing you'll see in the quick access toolbar is the title of the workbook. It lies closely to the quick access toolbar. After the quick access toolbar, you see the menu bars. The menu bars contains the menu for accessing each of the Excel tabs. So you will see the home bar, the inserts, the page layout, the formulas, the data, the review, and all of that. So these are called menu bars. After that, you see the ribbon tabs. The ribbon contains all of the features for each of the menu. For instance, the home tab has ribbon has a ribbon that is applicable to home tab. So if you want to select any of the ribbons in the home tab, like the format, the cut, merge and center, each of them, you can click on each of the menu that it is concerned with and access it. If you go to insert, there are also ribbon tabs in insert. Go to page layout, there are ribbon tabs in page layout. So after this section, we are going to go into Excel to experience or to look at each of these tabs or features. Another thing you will see is the formula bar. The formula bar contains a section where you'll be seeing the formula if you're typing in Excel. So it's that simple. When you're typing formulas in Excel or typing anything in an Excel cell, all of them will be showing on the formula bar. Also, the name box. The name box shows you which of the cells you are currently working on. Whatever cell you are working on in Excel, the name box will show you. And then another thing you will see in Excel is the active cell. So whenever you're working in an Excel sheet, it highlights the particular cell you are working on in green rectangle. So that shows you the active cell. If you're typing a formula or anything you're typing, it will show up in the formula bar, and then the name of the cell you are working on would show on the name box. All right. One other thing I would love you to know in Excel is the rows and columns. Excel is made up of rows and columns. The rows is the horizontal part of Excel, while the column is the vertical ones. So I will simply use this illustration. Excel makes it simple. All of the labels from A to Z, they are called column, and these are called column numbers. Then when it comes to row, all of the labels 1 to Excel has a particular number of sheets. I would get that and let you know, because I can't say it off my head right now. So all of the numbers from 1 to the last number in Excel, they are called rows. So and each of them is called a row number. Like I said, Excel is made up of rows and columns. The columns are labeled in alphabet, while the rows are labeled in numbers. I don't know if this is clear. So you can give me a thumbs up or type in the comment section if it is clear and I can move on. All right, thank you. So another thing you will see in Excel is the worksheet tab. So the worksheet shows you the particular sheet you're working on. And with the worksheet, you can create a new worksheet, you can rename a worksheet, you can do a lot of things in a particular worksheet. Is that clear? So those are some of the basic features we can see in Excel. And as time goes on, you'll be able to see other things that Excel can help you to do. All right, does anybody have any question? Any questions from your end? Well, if there are no questions at this point, then we will be moving to Microsoft Excel to see all of these features and continue on the practical section that we will have later. So I'm going to open Microsoft Excel. Then we'll look at all of what we've said briefly. All right. So this is our Microsoft Excel. Are we all still following, or I am working alone? Let me know, please. All right. Thank you. All right. So this is a typical Microsoft Excel workbook that we shared earlier. So we started with talking about the quick access toolbar that helps you to access things quickly. For instance, one of the things in my quick access toolbar is the save. So if I'm working on an Excel worksheet and I quickly want to save, I can use the quick access toolbar to save my worksheet. And then the title bar that has the title of the workbook that we are working of the Excel workbook that we are working on. So you can see the title of the Excel on here. Then another thing is the menu bars that contains the home, insert, draw, page layout. So these are all called menu bars, like I shared earlier. So within each of the menu bars, you will see the ribbon. And then the ribbon, you have the clipboard that helps you to copy and paste. Then you have the fonts where you can set up the font sizes of the text you're working on. You have the alignment, and within the alignment, you have bottom align, center, middle align, or center align, and then you have the top align. Also, you also have this to wrap text or to merge and center. These are all available in the home menu under the ribbon tab. Then you have conditional formatting also in the home tab, where you can format your worksheet. You can highlight cells based on certain rules. When cells are greater than, you can highlight. When they are less than, you can highlight them when you have a particular workbook. Another thing is you can format your cell as your workbook as a table. You can also have cell styles. Depending on the style you want your sheet to have, you can use the cell style to achieve that. You can also insert new sheets. For instance, assuming you are working on an Excel sheet that has up to 100 rows, and you are, let's say, you are in row 80, and you want to insert another cell either above or below the sheet. So you can use the insert. There are also other ways you can do that, but this is what the insert, delete, or the format cells does. You also have the formula bars that contains the most basic, the common formulas in Excel that helps you to achieve the sum, the average, count numbers, maximum, or minimum. So these are all the things you can achieve within the home ribbon tab. You also have the sort and filter. The sorting and filtering is a way for you to sort your data in a sheet. For instance, if you have names of students that you have tabulated in Excel and you want to sort them, one of the ways you can sort them from the whether their name started in A or to Z, you can sort it in that way. Or you can filter a particular name that starts with A. You can filter a particular department, or you can filter a particular profession. So these are some of the things you can achieve within the home ribbon tab. And of course, this particular feature of Excel, even within the cells, you'll be able to achieve some of these things by highlighting each of the cells, apart from going to the menu bars. So these are some of the things you can achieve within Microsoft Excel. Also, you can find someone's name, find and select is achievable in Excel. You can also use the Microsoft Copilot, but it's not available on the free desktop version. You can use it on the paid Excel version. So these are the things you can achieve within the Home tab. Then insert. You can insert as much things as possible in Microsoft Excel. You can insert a pivot table. Pivot table is a section we'll be going through in the evening today. You can insert a table, you can insert forms, you can insert an illustration, you can insert a chart. So once you have data in Excel, Microsoft Excel usually have recommended charts depending on the data that you have there. So you can either use the recommended charts, or if you know what you're doing, you can easily select which of the charts that is most suitable for you. You can insert line or column or slicer. You can insert so many things. Why I'm taking you through all this is because when one of the mentors will be speaking about we'll be working on a project step by step in the evening, it will be easier for us to know what they are using once you've been introduced to some of the basic things you can do in Excel. Also, the draw feature is available within Excel, where you can draw any of the shapes that you want. If you are trying to do an illustration, you can do an illustration within the draw feature. Page layout is available in Excel. When you're trying to print, this is when this page layout becomes very, very important in Excel for me. So as you go through and as you work on projects, you'll be able to know what each of these things does. But let's try and get through it quickly. So if you want to change the theme of your workbook, you can easily go to theme and change to whatever color you want. If it's this color, and then if you are setting up Microsoft Excel, this is where theme works. So depending on the color you selected, that is what Microsoft Excel will use. But this theme's color is quite complicated. I wouldn't want you to go into it because there are ways you can set up each of these colors to display. Like if you want to change any of these colors apart from these ones that have been displayed here, you can be able to change it. Also, you can change your font within Microsoft Excel on the page layout. If there are any effects that you want in the Microsoft Excel, you can use this feature here to insert an effect. Then the page margins. Depending on what you're printing in Excel, you can use the page margins to set that up. It can either be normal, it can be wide, it could be narrow. So depending on what you want to print, I usually use the normal printing size for all of my Excel workbook, all of my Excel printings, except otherwise stated. So another thing you see in the page layout is the orientation. So what this orientation does, especially when you're printing, when we get to the printing aspects, you'll be able to see this clearer. You can have a portrait setup. Portrait means the height is longer than the width, while landscape means the length is longer than the height. So that's just the simple explanation. When you see a printing that is tall or that is in landscape, you'll be able to say if it's portrait or if it's in landscape. Then the size, you can also choose the size of your printing, whether you want to print in A3, whether you want to print in A4. Of course, you know, most of us, do we all know what A4 or A3 is? A4 paper or A3 paper, if we are conversant with it. So this is where you choose what kind of printing. I'm just talking about the most popular paper type. Is either A4, A5, A3. Then depending, there is legal, there is statement, or there is later. So it depends. Automatically, Excel is in later, but sometimes I like to leave it in A4. So whether it's in A4 or later, later is a bit somehow they are almost the same thing with A4. So if you're setting up, you can either use A4 or later. Also, another very good thing you can do with Excel is setting up the printing area. You can set up the printing area for your workbook. So we might have a workbook that extended beyond here. And then so we have a workbook sheet that is moving from column A to column X. And apparently we want to print A to G. So what we do in this instance is to select A to G and set it as printing area for our Microsoft Excel. So with that, when we set it as printing area, I've already set it, and we click on print, it will only print the selected parts that you have stated. So that's what the printing area does for you. Apart from the printing area, you can insert a page break. So automatically, Excel has an automatic page break. Whether you are or later, Excel automatically gives you a page break for each of the paper sizes. So sometimes we may be working on an Excel sheet and we want to get a page break that is different from the automatical size, maybe earlier or after. So we can use the page break feature to insert that break. All right. You can also remove the page break if it doesn't give you what you want. Another thing you see in Excel is the background. So for this our particular sheet, we can insert a background, which is what this background here does. So for you to insert a background, you can just click on your computer, either from a file or you are searching online or you have a OneDrive. Let's say we have a background that we want to insert from file, apparently from download. So let's see if I can see a BG. Have a background. So I have already inserted a background for our sheet. So that's how you insert a background in Microsoft Excel. Then I can also delete the background if it's not what I want. It is that simple to delete a background. Print titles. So when we're working on Microsoft Excel, another thing you will see is print titles. Let's say we have a title of this worksheet as, let's say, name of students. All right. So we have this title, and then we are on page layout. We're trying to print title. So what print title does is, if you have more than one page, you have typed a title, and you have more than one page that you want that title to float along, to go past. So you can use the print title feature to print those titles. So we've typed name of student, and we have more pages that we want that title to go over. So you have rows to repeat. We select this row, enter, then the column to repeat as well. You select that. Let's see the print preview. So you will be able to see the importance of this feature. If you have multiple sheets in Excel, you're working on multiple sheets and you want the title to go across all of the sheets and not just be on sheet number one, because when you print a particular sheet, most time the title will usually be on sheet one. So, and you want this particular title to go past this sheet to go past this the particular page to other pages. So you use the print title to achieve that. All right. Does anybody have any question at this point? Any questions? Yes or no, please. Let me know if you have any questions. All right. Okay. So that's that for print titles. Another thing you could achieve in the page layout, you could achieve a lot. You could actually achieve a lot. But another thing I want to go through is this scale to fit. This particular width, like if you can see here, when you set the page break or the print area, automatically Excel gives you something that like sets up an automatic page for you to print. So if you want to change it, you come to this. So what happens with Excel is once it sets those print titles, sometimes you notice that when you're working on Microsoft Excel and you want a particular thing to be on one page, but it's extending column wise, it's extending to other pages, like names of students, their grades, their departments. It's extended to other pages because if you have from column A to P, and then what Excel can achieve, or based on Excel automatic setup, it can only give you from column A to G for that. Now there are two options. It's either you change it from landscape, from portrait, if it's on portrait, if it's on straight, if it's on portrait size, you either change it from portrait to landscape. That is number one. Another thing, most time, that is one of the things you can do. Then another thing you can do to get that automatic setup is to either restrict it to one page. You can restrict whatever it is you are working to one page. Width-wise, you want it to be on one page. Height-wise, of course, you may have up to 100 students. If you know that if you make it one page, apparently what is going to happen is it will be tiny. So you can make it, depending on the number that could fit into one or two pages, you can make it to one page, 6 pages. And then when you make it to 6 pages, this is where the print titles come in. So because you have already made it 6 pages and the title is on the first page. So you have to use the print title to get the title across all of the pages. All right. So you use the print title to get all of the title across all of the pages. So this is it for the page layout option. These are the most features, the popular features you might get to see and use within the page layout. All right. I don't know if anybody have a question. Any questions? So let's quickly go through all of the other menus. We can go through all of the other menus. Menus like the formula menu is where you can select any of the formula. So you can have the auto sum. This is the ribbon tab for this particular formula. You can have the logical functions. This we will see earlier. The text function we would see earlier. Date and time function we might see earlier. So this is the function library where you have all of the function in Excel. You can also have an IDE here. You can edit Python code, but this is not our concern. So we'll pass it. We'll pass across it. So the more you go further into Excel, the more you know all of the functionalities and features that Excel can help you to achieve. And as a beginner, just take your time and explore. Another thing I would want you to know is that don't be overwhelmed, because at this stage you might be you will get to have access to so many information or to so many things that Excel do. So take it one step at a time. And when you have something to do with in Excel, you do it. At least it will definitely help you to get more confidence with using Excel, because the features are varied. There are so many advanced calculations that can be done within Excel. Another thing you can see, another menu that you would see in Excel is the data menu, which you see so many ribbons in all of this. So a very important feature you will see here is the get data. So what you use this get data to do is to import data. When we're working on the pivots this evening, you might be able to see a future. You either the mentor might either get data, like export, it's called exporting data, might either export data or use an already existing data. So it depends. But what I'm trying to get you to know is the data, within the data tab, this is what you'll be able to achieve. You can get a data set from Excel file, from different file, either from Excel workbook or from text or CSV or from XML. These are all file types that you can export data from, or from JSON, or from PDF, or from a folder. So these are ways you can get data in Excel, and this is very important. You can also get data from database, you can get data from Azure, and all of that. You can also launch Power Query Editor through this spot. So this is what you do with get and transforming data. Now, a very good feature that you might get to see that Excel added to spice things up is that, funny enough, you can get data from picture these days. You can simply export, if you have a picture that have names of people, or you have picture that have lists, you can export it into Excel and Excel will extract it. That is a very good thing that you will get to see or use while working on Excel. So for this, this is for queries. Most times in Excel, you must have connected certain data either from database or from a particular folder or from OneDrive. So you use these queries and connection if you need to refresh, if new data have been uploaded, and for your charts or for your data set to work properly, you need to refresh. So you use this refresh button to refresh that. These are also currencies if you are working in Excel and you need to use any of these feature, either geography or stocks or currencies. This is where you will get it. The sort and filter, I've spoken about it when I was when I was showing the home tab. So you can do the sort and filter within Excel. Another data tool you can see within Excel is data validation. So I would explain briefly what data validation means. Data validation is a way for a data literate person or a data analyst to help people that are filling out or that are using Excel in your organization to be able to validate what they are entering. What do I mean by validating? It means they will be able to know if they are entering the wrong thing, the wrong text into that particular column or the right text. We'll go through, guys remind me, so that we'll go through data validation at some point and a practical section on data validation. So a critical example of what data validation does is, for instance, I have stated that the price of a particular good is 25,000, and nobody should sell anything below that. Or let's say, I think where you get the cooler part is where you have a range, of figures to enter. So what data validation does is, if you enter anything that is below what you have stated that should contain there, data validation flags it. So another example, let's say I am typing, let's say this field is for status, and I want to say, if the status is either registered or unregistered or not available. So I have these three things for status, and then I want to use data validation to confirm that whenever someone is doing data entry, it's usually useful for data entry. Whenever anybody is doing data entry, you must enter registered, unregistered, or not available. I will use data validation. I'm going to use data validation. Okay. We'll work on this. So what data validation does is it validates if anybody enters anything. It makes it easy for someone not to enter things like what instead of saying that they have registered, someone will just enter imputed. So if you are a data analyst and you are trying to analyze this data, the number of registered, unregistered, not available, and imputed, and then you suddenly saw imputed, it will definitely going to affect your analysis. All right. So you are going to have issues that for this imputed, you will now be figuring out, is this trying to communicate registered, or is this trying to communicate unregistered? So this is where validating entries is quite useful. You validate what should be entered and what should not be entered in a particular column. I don't know if that is clear. So also here you can see consolidate, you can see analyze. It will help you to analyze data. You can also see flash fill. So another thing you will see within the data section is what if analysis. You can analyze. This is an advanced section anyway, but you would see this is for forecasting. What if this happens? If this happens, what if this happens? What will be the outcome? So that's what you use the what if analysis to do. Then the forecast sheets also, this area are basically for forecasting. So I would want you to take your time to understand other aspects of Excel. Then you also see things like data analysis. This goes into the deeper aspect of data analysis in Excel, whereby you see things like ANOVA, you do correlation, you do moving average, and you do histogram. But I wouldn't want to bore you with this aspect of Excel. Also, data validation is here. You can tell it to circle invalid data or clear validation circle if I want to clear it. So this is what the data aspect does. So another thing you'll see is the review menu, where you see the spelling. You can check spelling, you can check workbook statistics or performance and all of that. You can translate your workbook as well. Also, you can create a form through Excel and get people to enter data from there. So this is what this aspect does. Another thing is the view tab in Excel. If you want to view the page break, all of the page break you've done, you can view it. This is page 1, the other one is page 2, the other one is page 3. That's where you go to the view option and then you return back to normal. You can also have the page layouts, the custom views, you can navigate. So many things you can do. You can zoom in and zoom out depending on what you're working in. Another very important thing I want you to see here on this view tab is the freeze panes. Freeze pane is very important and we use it mostly in most of our workbook. So let me show you quickly what freeze pane does. So with freeze paint, you could have all of this text in this cell. And you have a lot of pages, or you have quite a number of entries within your Excel. So what you want to do is in such a way that if you're scrolling up, you want the paint to be constant. You don't want to be moving with, you don't want, if you are scrolling up, you don't want it to be difficult for you to view all of the things you're seeing. So you use the freeze panes option to freeze it. So with the freeze panes, you can freeze the top row, you can freeze the first column. So let's say we are freezing the top rows. So once we freeze these top rows and then we scroll in, you see that the panes are visible. We can see all of the things we entered within our column. So that's what freeze panes. Freeze panes are very, very important. That's why I wanted to share, because if you are working or if you're delivering a project, it's one of the features that you can add to make your workbook look quite professional, especially if it has a long list of things. But some people may not want it, but it's just very useful that you have access to it and know what it's about. So you'll be able to freeze these pens and scroll through and scroll down and then have access to the top rows. And you can also remove it by going back to the freeze pen and then unfreeze pens. So that's it. Macros is an advanced part of Excel that you get to see. So macros automate developer. I won't go deeply into that. But what macro does is macro helps you to record steps that you've used in a particular set. So all of these things I have done, let's say I'm trying to do a data validation for a particular row. Would data validation be a good example for a simple macro? Simple macro would be I wanted to create a macro that generally what macro does is it helps you, it records all of the steps you take when you're trying to work on a sheet. So it records all of the steps you have taken. After recording it, you can convert it into a button so that maybe you are trying to set up a page and then you record the macros, or simply you calculated a formula for your Excel and you record the macros. One of the things that is very good is that you could actually create a button that once you click on that particular button that contains all of the macro, first of all, you need to, okay, there's record here. So when you're trying to do a macro, you record it. Afterwards, you activate it through a button so that when someone clicks on that button, it will get the answer. All right. Let's say you want to see the sum of the sum of entries in a particular sheet and you create a macro for it. So you don't want that sum to be somewhere in your Excel sheet, but you just want a macro that when someone clicks, it will show the sum button for the macros. So it's not something I will be covering here. I just shared briefly what macros does. Macro is a way to automate some of the things you do in Excel within a click of a button. All right. Also the automate and the developer option. So I think do we still have a lot in this section? Okay, I would show us briefly. Do we have any questions here before I move forward? Are we confused on anything? Any question? Check the chat. Okay, no, everyone is saying. Okay, the what if analysis and forecasting sheet. A particular scenario where what if analysis. Let's say you're doing an analysis is basically for a financial analysis. You use what if analysis when you are working on a majorly financial document. It depends on the project you're working on. So let's say you are working on, these are used for predictions. So let's say you're trying to predict a particular student's score this semester based on their previous score last semester. So you use the forecasting sheet to do that. Also, the what if analysis, you say, what if you also use the what if analysis in scenarios whereby you have tabulated student score and you are trying to see, are these people going to get distinction? And then you are trying to see whether some set of people are going to get distinction or this. So you use the what if analysis to to check, okay, what if the score is this, or what if the score is that? You also use it in sales forecast. You use the what if analysis very well in sales forecast. You work in a restaurant and you're trying to forecast what will be the total sales today. Based on the past data you have, you can use the what if analysis, tabulating some certain figures. What will happen if? So that is what the what if analysis helps to achieve. There are other use cases, but I don't know if this one I have explained answers your question, Terran. All right. So let's move quickly to, so these are all about the tabs in Microsoft Excel. And then we could move quickly to the file menu, which we didn't talk about. So within the file menu, there are three key things I want you to know. There are other things that are available in the file menu, which you can explore at a later date. But there are three key things I want you to know within this file menu. One of them is new, which is used for creating a workbook. And another one is the save. The third one is the save as. So these are some of the things I want you to know within this particular thing. So let's look at new. So with the new function, with the new tab, what you use it to do is to create a new workbook. So with the new, just click on blank, and then you create a blank worksheet. So another thing I want you to have a look at is the save and the save as. The save is used to save a new document or save a document you're already working on. While the save as option is used to, if you have worked on a document and you want to duplicate a particular part, you want to duplicate that part again, or you have updated that document and you don't want it to override the existing document you have, you use the save as to save it. I don't know if that makes it clear. If you're using Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, this feature is also available, the save and the save as option. Did we understand the difference between the save and the save as? It's quite simple. You use save for new documents, or if you just want to update the savings you've done. Save as, you use it when you don't want to override all the things the existing document. Okay, it's quite clear. So does anybody have any question? I want to give us a few minutes for you to take a break. I'll just give us 5 minutes for us to go and come back. Is that okay? Just leg stretch your leg. Let me quickly stop sharing. 5 minutes leg stretch. All right. We'll come back at 10:25. Hello, everyone. Are we back? Hello, hello. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So let me share my screen quickly. All right, welcome, welcome. So if you're starting to work in Excel as a beginner, these are some of the things you would mostly be working with, or some of the basic things you should know that Excel does if you are working on Excel or asked to work on Excel document for something. First of data entry, you should be able to use Excel to enter data. Autofill, you should be able to know what autofill means and when to use it. You should be able to format. You should be able to bolden, italicize, change cell color, and all of that. Formulas, at least the basic formula, should be able to use some, although we'll go through this formula quickly later, but you should be able to use formulas in Excel. You should be able to sort data if you're asked to. You should be able to filter data. You should be able to insert simple charts, create tables. Do save and share. So I want someone to take a screenshot of this. If we are doing the practice, we need to go through each and every one of these and how to do it. So that's why I need to have a screenshot is someone will remind me if I am leaving anyone behind, you should be able to let me know, because at least for you to say you know Excel, you should be able to do some of these things for the aim of this section today, even if you're not a data analyst. All right, let me see if I have another slide quickly. But we have not finished. Oh, that means I jumped something. Hold on 1 minute. I wanted to show you quickly charts. Oh, this is not in this section. It's not this section. It's not this section. It's moving faster than my shoulders. So this is what we have. We need to take a screenshot of this, and then we'll go to the practice section. I will share the feedback form even before going through the practice section, just for me to remind, it's just like a reminder so that you can share what you think about the section generally. So before that, have we taken a screenshot of this, because I will need it later on? All right, thank you. Thanks for that. So let's go to Excel. Let's go back to Excel. So this is our practice, what we're going to use for practice. All right. So this is a data of a particular, a sales data for a particular company. So this company has different businesses that use their services. So it is a business to business service. So each business has account name. For each account name, there is a product line. For each business, there are product lines that they buy. So it's not all the product line that they would ideally buy. So if you look at it, there are SB1 has product 1, product 2, product 3. Till let's say SB9 is not buying and some cells are even empty. So this is a typical data set that you would meet in trying to analyze data, whether as a data analyst or just working in a related role. So what is the first thing that is in our practicing Excel? Because we just want to take it one step at a time and make sure that we go through each and every one of those things. Just type it in the chat, I will say. I can give you the data sets, that's not a problem. So the first thing is entering data. So you might be asked to enter data in an Excel sheet. This is some of the things that as a beginner in Excel, you might be asked to do any of these things. So there are ways you can receive data sets. You can either receive it as this, as it already exists, it's already entered, or you can be given a plain sheet to enter data from the beginning. So what do you do when you want to enter data? Go to each of the cells, click on it. If you are using a computer, double click on it. I think it works on a phone at the same time. I'm just teaching this like nobody knows Excel. That's how I'm taking it, because I don't want to go far. Like I don't want to do the teach this like we all know what we're doing, because if I use what I know, we may not follow through. So if you are trying to enter data, if you are doing data entry, what you do is if you click on a sheet once, it will only highlight in green. But when you double click, you'll be able to see a highlight showing that you can type. Are you seeing that this highlighted line showing you can type? So if you come into Excel and click once, you won't be able to type anything. But when you double click, it will be able to allow you to type. So that's how you enter data in Excel. All right. What other feature? What other thing can you see there? Autofill? Yeah, that's autofill. I think I have to leave my teams like this. So you would see autofill. What autofill does is just quite simple. So let's say you are entering numbers and you have entered 1, 2, 3. So with autofill, you can highlight this and drag and click on this spot. Make sure it turns to a plus sign. Make sure it turns to a plus sign before you can drag. It will autofill to any particular number you want to type. With that, you don't have to type numbers from 1 to 100 when you're working in Excel. Rather, you will use this autofill in Excel. Also, January, I think January, February does that too. Does February, March. Let's try and use autofill to fill it. Make sure it turns to a plus sign and fill. This is what autofill does. So you don't have to type from afresh. If you are doing Sunday, so these are already automatically set up on Excel. Make sure it turns to a plus sign and drag. This is what autofill does for you. The next thing is formatting, bolding, italicizing. So most times you will receive an Excel sheet that's not formatted like this. This is not looking as good as a sheet should look like. And then you simply want to format it. So one of the ways you can format an Excel sheet, of course, we said bold, italicizing, but one of the first step I usually like to take in formatting a cell is to convert it into a table. So I'll highlight all of the table I want to convert. I hope you're seeing me. If I'm moving so fast, please call me back and I'll come and meet you. So I'll highlight the sheet and click on format as table. So I will choose whichever table. Another thing I want you to see before I move on to formatting this table is that I want you to observe is the filtering option. The filtering and the sorting option are not available in this table. So that's another thing that the formatting as a table helps you to achieve. So when you format, of course, the table will look better, and then it will be easier for you to filter, or it will be easier for you to sort. So that's one of the things I wanted you to note. Just take note of this, that there are features that are not available. The formatting and the sorting feature are not available on this table at this point. So I am going to format it as a table. So it will ask you, my table has headers. If your table doesn't have headers, you can unclick this. But if your table have headers like mine do, please click the table, because it will definitely help you to recognize the headers and make it, it will just help you to recognize the header, and it will help in other things you are trying to do on Excel. So you leave my table have headers and click on OK. So it has automatically formatted our table. That's number one thing it did. It formatted our table. See these ones, I highlighted more. That's why it's telling me column 2, column 1, and column 2. I need to type the name of those. So this is what it has done. So I told you to take note of some things that was not on this table before. Things like the sort and the filter. You can sort by color. You can see the sheet view. So you can sort from A to Z. You can sort a particular column from A to Z, or you can sort from Z to A. We can do that with the name, all right? So this is the formatting. So we spoke about when you go to that Excel features, I said you have bolding. If you want to bold a particular sheet, let's say you want to bold the heading, it's already bolded, but this is the bold. You can unbold, you can bold. Another thing, change the font size. If you want to change the font style, you come here and change the font style. If you want to change the font size, you change the font size, and you want it to be bigger. That's another thing you can do. Another thing that is there is number format. Thank you. I'm coming to this. It is very important that we do this number format, because it is another very critical thing when you're working with Microsoft Excel. So where we have the numbers, what are we going to do? This is where we have the numbers. And like you can see, these numbers are just represented as numbers. And if you look at the format, it's telling us that it's general. Most times, which you will also see in Power BI, you discover that leaving numbers as general is harmful when you're doing analysis. It's very, very harmful. You either have it as a number or you have it as a currency. And because this is a currency, I would like to change all of this to currency, because if I'm reading this, I will just be reading 1982. But if it's a currency, it makes it easier for me or for anyone using my sheet to be able to understand it. So I am going to change this to number format. So to do that, I will highlight it. Highlight the number and go here. If I want to leave it as number, I can leave it as number. If I want to leave it as currency, which is what I want, there's also another one, accounting. You can either leave it as currency or accounting. I'll get the difference, but I usually use, it depends on the one, but I mean, I will get the difference between these two for you guys later, remind me. But you can either use this currency or accounting. I use either of both because that's what I prefer. So let's say we are doing currency in dollars. So we have these cells in dollars, right? And then another thing you can see from here, these currencies, that you can leave the decimal places. For me, I'm thinking I want to remove the decimal places because it's of no use in this particular Excel sheet. This is because the decimal places, most of the figures doesn't have a decimal places. So it's apparently of no use for me to still include a decimal place in this. All right. So had it been there's a decimal place in any of these, then I can leave it with the decimal places. But to change this, I'll just click on this arrow pointing downwards in the number format. I'll click on it, and then I will go to a place that says decimal places, and then I will reduce the decimal places. If I want it to be 0, I'll leave it as 0 decimal places. Yeah, that's it. So I think for me, this particular thing is looking too big. I'll reduce it. To reduce this font, anyway, let's leave it. So that is that for currency. So I have this in currency. Remember, you can also change this. If it's in Naira, I can change the currency. If the currency is in Naira or in Singapore or in New Zealand, like some of our colleagues are joining. So the symbol, you can look for your symbol here. Make it quick by typing N. This is British pounds, GBP. If it's in Naira, just keep on typing N to show you your currency. This is NGN, and we can change it to Nigerian Naira. But we had it in dollars. So I don't want to interrupt that. So that's how you change the currency. Is that clear, or am I speaking to myself? Any question?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, sorry. I was going to ask, I was not clear with something that you did when you changed the table. When you you did format as
Format
table.
of the table. Yeah.
Like after you did that, I didn't really get what you did afterwards before you continued.
Okay. Was it the autofill?
Yes, I think that
All
part.
right. All right. So what did you understand what I explained by autofill?
That was the part I didn't get. When you said,
Okay.
yes, that was the part I
Yeah.
didn't get.
So what you use autofill for is when you have similar formatting and Excel is able to recognize it. So you use autofill when you are doing data entry and you need to type numbers from 1 to 100. There might not be a need for you to type. There is no need, none might. There is no need for you to type that number from 1 to 100 because Excel can automatically help you to type that number from 1 to 100. For instance, let's say you are doing data entry for a particular company and you are entering total sales. And each of them, there is no unique number. Most people will tell you that most receipts have a unique number. If there is no particular line, that you need to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 100 or a particular, or you're even counting you are entering the name of staff, and you want to use that number to achieve that. Maybe let's say the request in that particular data entry is that you should include numbers, include the numbers as a counting. So let's enter, if you Excel, whenever you enter numbers, anything that you enter serially, till the third sheet, Excel will recognize it and it helps you to autofill it. I don't know if that is clear. If we start with 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. We are typing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. From the third number, you highlight. To do it, you highlight. And then when you highlight, you see that it creates a 4-corner rectangle on the 3 cells. Then you carry your mouse to where it has this block, a square blocked green line. Make sure it's there and make sure it turns to a dark square before you achieve. See, if it's like this, you won't be able to achieve. If you copy it, it will just copy. It won't do anything. It will highlight. So now that's another thing. This particular this style in Excel is for highlighting. So when you click on this and you leave it, you're highlighting. When you want to drag, when you want to autofill, it turns to a plus. Am I making sense? So you have the highlighting, which is like this, and then you have the autofill, which is this. So once you click down, it will create the number from 1 to 100. You don't need to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might not be able to get. Okay, we did January as well. February and March. What Excel does, it automatically understands it when you drag. And when it finishes, it will start afresh. When you get to December, it will start afresh. That's what it will be doing here, December, January, February. So it will do it for you. Let's see if Excel will understand this number formatting. I haven't tried it before, but let's see. 16, WD, 17, WD, 18. Let's see if it will understand it and how to fill it for me. So you see what I'm saying? When you type the first 3 this thing, it understands it. So you don't need to start typing WD, W18 and what or whatnot. So that's what the autofill does.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, the next thing on our list, we've talked about number formatting. I've shared how important it is when you are doing any analysis. The number formatting are very, very important. In Power BI, it is critical, like for you to do any analysis in Power BI. At least Excel, you can still do some, but you might have issues at the end of the day. But Power BI, you have to do the number format very well. The next thing in our list that we are seeing is sum, average, minimum, and maximum. So let's look at that quickly. I will not spend time on this because the next section will be on formulas, so it will just be quick. But a good way to do sum in Excel, there are 2 ways. One is to use normal formulas, which we'll understand later. For us to use formula, we'll do equals this plus this. So it's summing it for me, and it sums everything automatically. It summed 2017 and 2018, and you can do it for all of them. Now, another way you can achieve this is using formulas, A plus B. Another way you can achieve this is using built-in function in Excel. Built-in function is like there was a time we spoke about function. Let me look at it. Function. Where is that? Formulas, yeah. Yeah, built-in functions. So these are some of the built-in functions you'll see in Excel: sum, average, count numbers, maximum, minimum. So these are some of them you will see. So for you to use it, you just type. Now, most formulas in Excel start with an equal to sign. Anytime you are typing in Excel and type equals to, it recognizes it that you are trying to type a formula. So whether you're typing a formula or you're typing a function, most of them starts with an equal to sign. We have tried using normal sum, A plus B. Now we're going to use the built-in function called sum. So we'll do sum. First thing, type sum, open bracket. Type this one. And the last one. So it sums this for me. Another way you can do this, yeah. So this is what sum does. This is what sum is. It didn't do what I wanted it to do because it summed just two. No, I wanted it to sum all. I don't know why this sheet is misbehaving. Let me show you quickly what I'm trying to show you, so we don't spend time on it. So let's say we have 90. We have. Let me create a new sheet so we don't. Can you still see my sheet? I entered into a new sheet.
Yes, I can see it.
29, 30. Let me see. Selling mango. Sold 60. It's equal to some. Is it closes. So you can sum here to here using this sign, not comma. I don't want to use comma like in the other one. So it will be able to sum it. If you want to sum all the columns, you can also sum all the row wise. You can also sum column wise. This is column wise. If we are summing column wise, so if you want to sum row wise, you can also sum all of them. I'm not sure why this is confusing me, but so this is the sum function. We can do the sum. You can do average equals average. All of them are built in. Average of this to this. So if you want to see formula used, so once I click here, it shows me the formula I'm using. It's showing number here, but it's showing me the formula I'm using. Then it's showing me the name of the cell I'm working on. That's F2. So this is sum. This is average. All right. Is this clear? What is the next thing on our list? We'll spend sorting data. Let's quickly show us. Thank you. So let's move on to sorting data quickly. So we've created our table and we're trying to sort this data column-wise. We want to sort it based on, we want our sort to be based on the name of the decision maker. We want to view this table decision maker wise. Automatically, Excel is sorting it to us using the account name. Also, we can even do sort from Z to A using the account name. So we can tell it to sort from Z to A. Is anybody making changes to this? So it's sort from the last. So it's sorting this particular distance from the last. I mean, what is it using? This is wrong. Please let me use search from Z to A, clear sorting. Okay. First of all, let's start with the filter. So what this filter does, if we had an account, a particular account number, this name, if we want to see just Andre, we can sort it. This is what filtering does. We can filter it using this person's name. I'm saying just Mike, please. So it's showing me just Andre. Had it been Andre had multiple entries, so it's going to show me all of Andre's entry. But because I filtered this with only his name, this is what it is going to show me. But if I clear it and I select all, it will continue to show me all of this. So this is what filtering does. So let's try and sort these names from Z to A and see what will happen. See if it can sort me the names. Yeah, it worked with the name, but it don't work with the other number because, yeah. So it moved this name from Z to A, sorting. So it sorted its name V is starting. So if you have a list, a student list that you have entered some list and you want it to sort it based on the names with A. If you are in school, this is usually what they use for names because it's easy. So you sort it from A to Z or from Z to A. That's what you achieve with that. So if you want to clear whether the filter or the sorting, you can clear it by going to just clear. Or you just choosing. So I am leaving it as it is. We are using the account name from SB1 to now I see why the account name don't work. It don't work because it started with either SB, there is either SB, MB, OR, or WD. So you can't really sort this particular name like that. It will be disorganized if you're sorting with the account name. All right. What is the next thing in our list, please? The next thing is we have done sorting, filtering, inserting charts. I think we'll do that, creating tables. We have created table, conditional formatting, saving, and sharing. All right, I think the most important thing here is conditional formatting. And maybe we can try and enter a chart. Later we'll speak more about charts, but that's not what this particular section is about. So conditional formatting, like the name implies, is the name used to describe a formatting that we use to tell Excel what to do based on a condition we've given it, like the name implies, conditional. So an example is that we want to highlight the empty cells in this particular table. We can use the conditional formatting to say, please help me highlight all the empty cells, because we're seeing this table is just 64 rows. We might see table as big as 1,000 plus rows. So we use the conditional formatting to achieve this. All right. So let's highlight the table that we want to format. Let's just use, I'm trying to highlight the product lines that are empty. So I'm highlighting this and I'm going to conditional formatting. So what are the cells? What are the rules? You can highlight cells greater than. If we want to do greater than, that should be on the number format because you can't do it on the text format. We can look at top 10 rules. We can do greater than, less than, cells between, equal to, text that contains a particular text, a date occurring between. You can also highlight duplicate values. So this is what you can achieve in conditional formatting. You can also do top 10 items, top 10%. So these are the things you can do with conditional format. I think the easiest one of the things we can achieve, let's try top 10 items. Let's try to highlight the top 10 items in this table. Because we've passed our time for today. Let's do conditional formatting. It will be confused based on, let's see, item. It will tell you format cells in the rank top 10 with light red fill with dark gray. So it's highlighting the top 10 items here. It's highlighting the top 10 items. So if you're looking at the year that had most of the top items, is actually 2021. So it kind of gives you a quick view of what's happened across all of the years, even without drawing a chart yet. So that's what conditional formatting does. Let's see if we can highlight empty cells. Yeah. Come to blank. What format do you want? Okay, so what I've done is I said highlight any of the blank cells with blue. So let's see. It's quickly showing me all of the cells that are blank. Showing me blank cells with account name SB8, product 2, product 3, they never ordered. Account number, account name SB13, same product 2 and product 3. So these are a quick way for you to apply conditional formatting. Any question? Do we have any questions? All right. If you don't have any question, please take some time as we round up. This is apparently the end of the section for today. That would share my screen. So this is the end of the first section. If you have any question, you can type it in the comment section. Get an Excel sheet like that to play around with. All right, I will give you this one. I will share this one with you so you can play around it. For the aim of the class, I will share this one. But at the end of the section, generally, I'll share specific places you can always get data to play around with. So help me please fill the feedback quickly as we wait for the next section. The next section is in an hour. is starting at 12. So we'll come back. Hope all of us are coming back for 12. Give me a thumbs up. All right, all right. Please fill this section quickly for me. It's a feedback form trying to share how you saw the class. And then let me share the Excel sheet with everyone in here. You don't have to bother while you fill the feedback form, so you can play around it. I'm seeing someone is using this sheet already. I'm viewing it. Share. Save a copy. Type attendees. So I'm going to stop sharing. Please give me a thumbs up on the notes I sent if you feel the feedback. I'm trying to upload the Excel sheet for you to walk around with. So thank you guys for coming around. I hope to see you in the next section in the next hour. Please have something to grab if you are able to. And then we can come back and round up on basically formulas and charts. Then towards the evening, we'll be looking at pivot tables for the evening section, which is a more advanced Excel feature. Thank you very much for your time.